Known to be the most important skeletal remains in our history today, the Kennewick Man was discovered July 28th of 1996. The discovery was made by two young men along the Columbia River of Kennewick, Washington. The two men called the authorities as the discovery was made, already assuming by observation that the remains were relatively aged. It wasn't long before archaeologists were called to the scene in order to investigate the skeletal remains. One of the first few men called to the site was Dr. Douglas W. Ousley, head physical anthropologist at the Smithsonian's National Museum of Natural History. Dr. Ousley is known as one of the most prominent and influential archaeologists and forensic anthropologists in the world. As part of his work with Smithsonian, he has overseen the forensic examination of over 13,000 skeletons and human remains originating from over an estimated 10,000 years. Dr. Ousley became a part of the controversial debate over the rights of ownership of the Kennewick Man, also known as the Paleo-Indian, in which he then concluded, after studies, that the bones were not related to present-day Native Americans. Over the course of the semester, we have discussed the effects that early settlers had on the natives, using countless efforts to strip the indigenous people of their tribal beliefs, traditions, and cultures. Their land was taken from them and sold to European immigrants. Their native names, once meaningful, were changed to Americanized ones. Their colorful attire, composed of feathers and animal pellets, were replaced by standard conformative wear. Their dialects and languages were eliminated, as Standard English was its substitute. Their authentic identities, along with a large population of their people, were completely wiped off the face of the earth. After conducting additional research, as well as re-examining readings concerning the subject matter, I believe that the Kennewick Man's skeletal remains belong to the Native Americans and not science, as it is a vital part of their own authentic history and the little they have left of it. Scientific probing and destruction of human bones was offensive and illegal under the Native American Graves Protection and Reparation Act, also known as NAGPRA of 1990. Armand Minthorn, an Umatah leader, said, and I quote, "Our oral history goes back 10,000 years. We know how time began and how Indian people were created. They can say whatever they want, the scientists. They are being disrespectful." End quote. I strongly support Minthorn's words. Those who want to study the subject should go directly to the original source, the oral source, the living source, as they are still among us. From my own background, traditions, and culture, it is seen as disrespect to disturb the remains of the dead, as it is for most cultures. I believe that the burial site itself should be reserved in order to avoid trespassing and respect this native land. It is the least the U.S. could do to show some sort of reparations and respect for those few natives left. In conclusion, There are still living members of the indigenous people that are able to provide us with the oral history